All right, and welcome back to episode 20 of the Alec Frengos Show. This is a sports podcast centered around NBA and NFL. And today I'm joined with Jay Price and Joey Price. And today we'll be talking about the AFC West predictions, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year predictions, best position groups, Isaiah Simmons traded to the New York Giants, and more. But before we start any of this, I want to talk about a trade that just happened. Trey Lance has been traded from the San Francisco 49ers to the Dallas Cowboys for a fourth-round pick. And I've got a lot to say about this, but I'll let you guys go first here. What do you think of this trade, Joey?
This doesn't make much sense to me, considering Trey Lance is going to the most toxic fan base ever, and he's had the most brutal start to an NFL career you could ask for. So I don't think it's great for him. I think it's good for the 49ers that they got rid of the biggest distraction on their team, and the Cowboys, I guess they could be a good, decent quarterback, but we'll see.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think it's really a major deal.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter that much because he'll just be a backup. But maybe he can feed the Cowboys some tips so they can finally beat the Niners in the playoffs. We'll see.
Mm.
Yeah. For me, Dak Prescott is officially on the hot seat, I think, because I think
Really?
Trey Lance does deserve a shot in the NFL, which he hasn't gotten yet to me. And basing him off preseason just annoys me because it doesn't mean shit. So the problem, Dak Prescott, if he doesn't take the Cowboys to the Super Bowl this year, Trey Lance will have a shot, I think, because Dallas, they want to have hopes every year, but they're going to get fed up with Dak every year because he is not the guy, clearly. In the regular season, I have the Cowboys getting the bye, right? But I don't know. This is just tough. I think that the 49ers, I already went on the rant about how Trey Lance should start, but I think they ditched him too early. You gave up 3 first-round picks, all these trades to go find your guy, which you had the top selection of because you knew it was going to be Lawrence Wilson. You had the choice, Mac Jones, Justin Fields, and Trey Lance, and you took Trey Lance and then you give him away this easy. I don't know why I get you're in a championship window, but I don't know why you wouldn't throw him in there because no quarterback will fail under Kyle Shanahan once again. So I think this is a great move for the Cowboys because not only will Trey Lance eventually get to start, but it puts more pressure on Dak, and it's going to make him have to play way better. I think that if Jerry Jones likes making big-time moves, right? Stephon Gilmore this offseason. He drafted Micah Parsons, who should have went higher in the 2021 draft, and now trading for Trey Lance, another huge name in the news right now. So I think Trey Lance, he'll get a good shot with this young team, good O-line, good weapons, good running game. I like it. I like this landing spot for Trey Lance despite the fan base, which will be hard on him.
Do you think San Fran should have kept all 3 of them, their quarterbacks?
I think it's tough. I think that Lance definitely should have been in the top 2. I feel like putting Sam Darnold as a third string wouldn't have been as shocking to anyone.
Yeah.
I think Lance caught me by surprise, not only getting traded but being demoted to the third string. But I think if anything, no one should have been traded. If it was someone, it should have been Darnold. But hey, they think Darnold's a safer floor for the team right now, and Purdy, obviously what he did last year, they're willing to roll with it, and Trey Lance cut the back end of the trade. So, yeah. Anything else you guys want to add?
Not really.
No.
Where's Cooper Rush right now?
He's on Dallas,
He's
too.
still in Dallas?
Yeah.
I don't know why. He was good last year. I probably wouldn't have done that, but if I was them. But
So we're gonna get to our offensive player of the year and defensive player of the year predictions, and I'm gonna start with you, Joey, for offensive player of the year.
My offensive player this year is Jamar Chase. I think he's due for a massive year. With Joe Burrow, I think both of that connection, they're both trying to prove that they're the best duo in the league, and they both want the most money per their position, I think. And Jamar Chase, I think could cement himself as the best receiver in the league after this year.
that's actually funny because I picked Chase too.
Mm-hmm.
I think him and Jefferson it'll be a 2-horse race. I think it will be those 2 guys at the top.
Yeah.
I don't see any running back getting close to that this year. Closest guy I think could be there. Throw out another name. I think Barkley could be there. depending on how the Giants perform.
Yeah.
They don't really have a true one right now, and I think for their offense to be successful, he has to be really, really good. But yeah, just with Chase, I just think like last year, if he hadn't gotten hurt, he would have had a monster year too, and he would have been up there with Jefferson. And also, like, I think recency or voter bias will, like, people like get tired of voting for the same guy all the time.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
But for me, I do have a receiver as well. I got Tyreek Hill winning the Offensive Player of the Year. You got to look back to last year. If Tua stays healthy, I think he does win it over Jefferson. As much as I do love Jefferson, Tyreek Hill's quarterback proof, so it doesn't really matter who's out there. It's just that Tua will take him to the next level. It's the reason I took him last night over Kelsey in the fantasy draft. I just think Tyreek will have that big of a year. And I think he's due for one eventually.
Yeah.
His career, he's coming to the tail end. I feel like if he puts up around the same numbers as Chase and Jefferson, I think the voters will lean it to him, especially if the Dolphins do get in that playoff spot. But yeah, Offensive Player of the Year for me is Tyreek Hill this year. We'll go to Defensive Player of the Year.
My Defensive Player of the Year is Micah Parsons. I just think he's going to get the most sacks. That's what the voters are going to look at mainly. He's on a good defense, so it's not like offensive lines can just focus on Parsons.
Yeah.
There's other pieces to this defense.
Secondary, too.
Yeah, and Parsons, I mean, Dan Quinn, he's good at scheming him to get one-on-one pass rush situations off the edge, so I think he's in line for a big year.
Yeah.
For me, I've already highlighted this in like past episodes, but I got TJ Watt winning it. I just think he's gonna have a monster bounce back year. He's just like, to me, he's just unreal. He's like probably the best pass rusher in the league from my point of view, I think. And I think he put up like 22.5 sacks like 2 years ago. He won it.
Yeah.
I think he could easily do that again. This D-line's good. He won't get double teamed that much, so I could see him winning it again.
Like you said, my Defensive Player of the Year is also Micah Parsons. I just think he's too generational of a talent to not win, not once, but a couple times. And I think this year is just his year. He's been in the conversation since he's been a rookie.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I got Parsons for my Defensive Player of the Year. Not much to say, really. But another name, since we did have the same one, I want to throw out. If he doesn't hold out, I think Chris Jones could break it.
Yeah.
He's such a great, especially playing in the inside for the amount of sacks that he gets. I think he's fantastic. And, yeah, I'd also throw Chris Jones in the mix, too.
Just so hard as a D tackle.
Do you think a corner could win this year?
It's really hard.
It's tough.
I was thinking...
Corner's so hard to win.
I was thinking Sauce, but, like, you got to have a crazy year like Gilmore had, right?
Yeah.
Sauce has a lot of competition this year if you look at that schedule, which we'll get into in a couple episodes. But, yeah, for me, I got Offensive Player of the Year Tyreek Hill, Defensive Player of the Year Micah Parsons.
My Offensive Player of the Year is Jamar Chase. Defensive Player of the Year, Micah Parsons.
And then I have Chase for Offensive Player of the Year and TJ Watt for Defensive Player of the Year.
All right, so right now we'll get to best position groups by team. So I want you to tell me. I'll lead off here, Jay. Who has the best D line in the NFL in your opinion going into this year?
The best D line for me, again, I feel like there's two teams you could potentially pick.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna lean with the Eagles for now.
Okay.
I just think that they have like so many starting caliber guys along the line. They can bring guys in and out. They can switch them around. They got who's there? Fletcher Cox, Nolan Smith. They drafted Jalen Carter. They drafted.
Yeah.
Hassan Reddick, who was like top 5 in sacks this year. Like
Sweat still there?
Josh
I
Sweat,
think Josh
Brandon
Sweat.
Graham,
Yeah,
Jalen
like,
Carter.
that,
Logan.
yeah, like that D line is just nuts to me, and I just think it's unfair the fact that they can bring in like guys in on third down who would be like every down players and like more than half the teams in the league. So for me, yeah, definitely the Eagles.
Go ahead, Joey.
Yeah, I got the same here. Eagles, boring pick, but they have like 2 starting lines on their team, so like 8 guys that they could throw in and they'd be like top 10 in the league.
Yep.
So I just think it's, like Jay said, it's kind of unfair that they have this much talent. Obviously getting all these athletic freaks from Georgia, like Nolan Smith, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. I mean, and they have veterans too, so I think they have the most depth plus good talent on their team.
Yeah, I'll switch it up a little bit. I'll go the New York Jets. I just think this is another D-line where they do have tons of talent. Quentin Williams, Jermaine Johnson recently drafted, Will McDonald.
That Bryce Huff kid is good too. That edge rusher.
I don't know if I'm missing the name, but Al Woods might be
Oh,
another
that big chunky fuck from Seattle.
Another interior guy that can just stuff the run. But yeah, it's got a lot of depth as well, and that's a great thing for a D-line because who doesn't want rotational pieces coming in and out when your star players are getting double teamed, triple teamed? So, yeah, I got the Jets here for the best offensive line. And then we'll go to the secondary here. Who do you got here, Joe?
For the secondary, for me, I would probably say the best currently is the Jets for me. I just think they have such a good cornerback duo. They have Sauce and DJ Reed. And then they just have some good, like, solid pieces around them. And I just think the way they scheme up their defense, they're able to match up their guys one-on-one on the outside and let the safeties kind of roam over the top. And that, like, they were so good last year, and most of these guys are young on their team, so I think they're only going to get better.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead, Joyce.
I think it's the Miami Dolphins with Jalen Ramsey, but since he's not playing, I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
I think it's the best corner duo in the league with Trayvon Diggs and Gilmore.
Yeah.
And then you have Malik Hooker, Donovan Wilson, just good safety depth. And, yeah, I think they have the talent plus the depth like the Eagles on the D-line. I think, yeah.
For me, I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I just think that Ramsey, Howard, the backups even, Cater Kohu was good as a rookie last year. Cam Smith recently drafted. Nick Needham you got to throw in there. And then you go up top to guys like Javon Holland. I believe
Byron
they got
Jones.
Deshaun Elliott too.
Yeah, they have him.
But do they still have Byron Jones? Yeah,
I think so.
Regardless, the secondary is absolutely loaded. Vic Fangio is the DC there. It's going to be hard to pass on this team, especially when Ramsey gets back. But yeah, best secondary for me is the Miami Dolphins. Pretty comfortably, I'd put the Cowboys second as well, and Jets third. I think so.
Yeah.
But
fair enough.
We'll go to a new segment here. I'm going to name a list of these coaches, and you got to tell me if they're on the cold seat, warm seat, or hot seat. And the first name I'll start with is Jonathan Gannon, who hasn't even coached a full game in the NFL yet.
I think he's got to be on the warm seat.
Yeah.
I don't think you can just throw him on the hot seat, but maybe the Cardinals are just saying, we kind of just want you to tank a little here, but I don't know what's going to happen there. He seems like the Nathaniel Hackett of last year, kind of coming in. He just doesn't seem like the fit to be a head coach.
You don't think that was a one-year wonder? The Hackett, like that'll never happen again?
Oh, it will happen again. The Cardinals are worse than the Broncos last year.
Okay.
I think he's on the cold seat, though, because I don't think he'll get fired after this year. There's, like, no chance. Like, I would bet all my money that he doesn't get fired after this year.
There's a chance.
They don't really have any expectations.
Yeah,
That's why it's different to Hackett.
Well, like, that's what happened
the
to
Broncos
the Texans. They fired Dave Culley, Lovie Smith.
Yeah, but that was, like, after, like, 2 or 3 years.
When the Broncos first first traded for Wilson and hired Hackett, people are thinking not only Super Bowl contenders, playoff locks.
Yeah.
That's how people looked at it. So you look at the Cardinals team, and the first thing you think of is Caleb Williams, first overall pick. That's why I think it's different. It would be hard to fire him. But for me, I got to go warm seat just because if he really, like, if the team can't put up points and he's the DC.
Yeah.
But still, if the team can't put up points and they're just garbage or getting 30 hung on them every day, I'd just get rid of him because he's not an idea. I think Steichen that landed in Indianapolis is better than Gannon to start with. And obviously defense, it starts with your culture, which was locker room built in Philadelphia with Slay, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, all those veterans that have been in the league for years. So it's kind of hard, right? Steichen kind of built up Hurts, got him that confidence in the passing game. So yeah, I'd put him on the warm seat. Next name. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, I agree with you, but the only way I see him getting fired is if they go, like, 0-17. Because, like, what are you supposed to do with that team?
Because it's a bad look on the organization if they just, like, go out and lose. And it's just a bad rep on the Cardinals.
There's nothing you can do. Like, put me or him coaching that team. We have the same record.
You think so?
17. Like,
no. They'll win some games.
I don't think so. I think they'll win, like, 1
Like,
or
if
2.
he shows flashes where he can be a good coach, I think that's fine.
Well, it depends how good their defense is, really, because that's the only thing he really has control of. But
maybe they go after Ben Johnson. Who knows?
No,
maybe.
He's untouchable. He's coming back.
Ben Johnson or Dan Quinn to the Cardinals. Calling it right now. Next year.
We'll see.
Next name here, Kevin Stefanski.
hot seat because if the Browns don't go to the playoffs with this roster, he's done.
I agree. I don't think there's much to it.
No,
Hot
there
seat
isn't.
for sure.
There isn't.
Because they really haven't done anything. They had that one year when Baker won the playoff game, I think, versus the Steelers.
Yeah.
And other than that, like they haven't done anything. And they were supposed to be good last year. This year, I think this is probably the highest expectation they've had.
Yeah.
So if they don't make the playoffs, I think he's definitely out of there.
For me, I gotta go hot seat for Kevin Stefanski. It's just too inevitable that if this team is trash like last year, even when Watson full off season, you got this stacked offense, stacked defense on paper. That's the first thing they always look to. You're gone, Stefanski.
Mm-hmm.
Next name, Matt LaFleur.
Shit. I'm going to go warm seat because last year he didn't meet expectations with the team. And then this year, if he can't develop Jordan Love, people have questions with how good he can be.
I think this is like not for this year, but next year.
Yeah.
It could be, but right now, where would you put him?
I put him at warm seat.
Yeah, I think I would too. I think the only way I see him really getting fired is if they finish like last in the North.
Yeah.
If they're like horrible. I think his success depends a lot on Jordan Love's success. So if Jordan Love's bad, I don't see him sticking around.
Yeah, I'll also go warm seat. Just I kind of do want to go hot seat, but I'll go warm in the middle because I think that if the Packers do have a losing record, again, I think they're going to look at Matt LaFleur and be like, you were only good because of Rodgers, realistically,
Rodgers
right?
made, yeah.
If, like you said, if Love's success will show on Matt LaFleur, it's going to be different. And you got to look at the year after then. If Jordan Love has a full season, again, with these young weapons, good defense, and they don't make the playoffs again, you got to say, we got to switch it up a little bit. Next name, Mike McCarthy. I'll start here. Scorching hot seat. There's not really much to it. Ever since he was hired from the Cowboys, people kind of questioned it because someone who also came from Rodgers, which won the Super Bowl, hasn't really won much in Dallas playoff-wise. He's got a couple division titles. But, yeah, for me, Mike McCarthy is scorching hot in Dallas.
Not much to add. Scorching hot seat as well. He has an unbelievable roster to work with, and if he can't lead this team to an NFC championship at least, he'll probably be fired.
Yeah, I don't have much to add, but Dallas is like the most like looked down upon team in the league, and they're judged so heavily. So I just think if they don't meet expectations this year, like I think I agree with you. Like NFC championship, I think he's probably gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe Dan Quinn could take over as the head coach.
Maybe
in Dallas. You never know. But we'll go to we got two more names here. Ron Rivera.
He's on the hot seat because he's looked at as one of the worst coaches in the league. And he honestly, his team's not that bad. I mean, his success is literally lying on Sam Howell. That's his last string for him to stay with this team.
If Sam Howell's trash, he's out of there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I honestly expected him to be fired last offseason, so I'm kind of surprised he stuck around. But, I agree with you. The roster's pretty good. Like, on paper, if Howell performs, they could be a good team. They could even make the wild card.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But, yeah, I think he's probably gone. If they're a 6-win team, 6 or 5-win team, he's probably out of there.
Yeah, Ron Rivera, I think he is also on the hot seat. I even think if the Commanders don't make the playoffs this year, which they won't, I think he's gone. Especially if they're way under 500 at the trade deadline, they'll just dump him off. Then Bieniemy could be made the head coach. Who knows? You never know. But like for the replacement interim. But Ron Rivera for me is on the hot seat, and last name pretty consensus, Brandon Staley.
He's on the hot seat, too. I thought he was going to get fired.
I have no idea how he didn't.
And I thought Sean Payton was going to go to the Chargers last offseason, but he didn't. So now he's probably on the hottest seat in the NFL, I'd say.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yes.
I don't have much to add to that, honestly. I just think he's got such a talented team, and he's getting the boot if they don't win a playoff game again. Like that guy's has to be out of there.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's honestly sad that they didn't win last year versus the Jags.
If you fire Brandon Staley, I'd make Kellen Moore the head coach instantly. That's just my opinion, but it's just one of those where you have a guy in building that I think's head coach worthy. But for me, the Brandon Staley thing, when they choked that game against Jacksonville, I'm surprised when I woke up in the morning after they got back from the flight from Jacksonville to LA early in the morning. I am shocked I didn't see a tweet on my phone from Schefter or Rappaport saying that he was fired. I was shocked. And when the front office comes out and says that they're going to keep him, oh boy. Yeah. That's one of the situations where you have to look at the coach for blowing that lead.
Yeah.
Clock
100%.
management, play selection, etc. It's just ridiculous. Joe Lombardi actually caught the end of the fire there, getting fired.
Mm-hmm.
But that was deserved. He was no good anyways.
Yeah.
But those are some coaches that we've got on the cold, warm, or hot seat. And next we'll get to this trade that happened a couple days ago that not only shocked me, but probably shocked both of you guys. Isaiah Simmons traded to the Isaiah Simmons traded to the New York Giants for a 7th round pick in return. So, Joey, I know you're a big Simmons guy. What do you make of this?
Well, a 7th round pick isn't much, and you're getting Wink Martindale there with the New York Giants, who he knows how to make these players
good players great.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if Simmons is that good, but he's an athletic freak that you can work with.
All I know is he's unreal in Madden, but real life,
I don't know. I haven't watched many Cardinals game, but
yeah, me neither.
Wink Martindale could make him good.
Yeah, I just think I don't really it doesn't mean much to me, but in my opinion, I don't think he'll be a huge factor. But I mean, it's always good. You can grab a guy off a 1-year deal. He's pretty versatile. You can just throw him wherever you want. Hopefully, he can be good. But I just feel like there's no way this guy went for a 7th round pick, unless he's hurt or some shit.
I think you could have got a 3rd round pick or something like that.
But he's
3rd,
got 1 year left,
5th.
and
yeah,
he actually strung together a couple good seasons too. So I don't know.
I don't even when I saw this. It's kind of one of those where you're like, what? I just think that Isaiah Simmons he was drafted recently, right? It's not like he's a veteran in the league. He's still on his rookie contract. He's in the 2020 draft on that Clemson team with Higgins, Lawrence, etc. And he came out of the draft as this athletic freak. Everybody looked at him. He was a pretty high pick. And now he lands the Giants for a 7th round pick where the Cardinals, where the Cardinals were competitive the first couple of years besides last year. He wasn't really in the system fully, it looked like for me. They were still trying to figure out where to play him and stuff like that. I feel like this year was kind of going to be a year where he's going to break out, but now I think he can break out even more and prove his worth of being that high of a draft pick because Wink Martindale, one of the top DCs in the league, no idea how Baltimore let him go. He's going to implement some stuff for him. Blitz, coverage, man even. He's got everything. Isaiah Simmons, he's got the tools to be one of the best secondary or whatever linebacker players in the league, and I don't know. I like this trade for the Giants a ton. I think it's a great move. Anything else you guys want to add to that?
No,
not really. No.
All right, so we'll go here to the AFC West predictions. I'm kind of sad we don't have someone like Carter or Ryan in here just to just have a thought of these predictions because obviously diehard Broncos fan. I'm excited to honestly kind of sit back a little bit and hear this. So we'll start here with number 4, and I'll start with you, Jay.
Yeah, I'm assuming we all have the same 4th spot. I have the Raiders at 5-12. I don't really think it's as bad as a team as people think. I think they'll be competitive in a lot of games. But I don't know. I just think they're the worst team in the division, and not much else really to add. They have some good pieces, but they also have a lot of holes on a lot of spots in their roster. But, I mean, I think you have Jimmy G will win you a couple games. They still have Josh Jacobs and Adams. So
decent receiving core.
Yeah,
their Renfro.
Offense will be fine. Their defense is just kind of in shambles, especially their secondary.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, you could say it's a little bit disrespectful, but I do have the Raiders coming in at 3-14 for me.
Mm-hmm.
I like Jimmy Garoppolo as a quarterback, and I think the receiving core is great. Josh Jacobs, that situation's going to get messy, I think, because he's going to want to hold out near the end of the year to protect his health because the Raiders have nothing to play for. The big thing for me is the secondary. AFC. You're in the AFC, right? A lot of high-flying passing teams. You're just going to get toasted over the top every game. And Garoppolo and Adams, that offense, they're going to have to put up 30 points probably. They're going to have to put up 25, 30 points a game against good teams to win.
Yeah.
And, the Jimmy G's used to being behind Kyle Shanahan and a great O-line. Now he's behind Josh McDaniels, who's Brady made, and one of the worst O-lines in the league. So, poor season for the Raiders for me coming in at number 4, 3-14.
Number 4, Las Vegas Raiders, 5-12. I thought I was going to have them lower, but I don't mind their offense. It's actually pretty good. Jimmy Garoppolo can run a good system, which he's done before with Josh McDaniels as a backup there.
Oh, yeah.
If Josh Jacobs does come back, I'm happy with this prediction, but if he's not there, I could see this team competing for
Caleb
top
Williams.
3 pick. I don't think they'll get Caleb Williams.
You don't want that. They
But
can get that.
The Raiders or the Cardinals are there, so I don't think they'll get number 1.
Texans. Well, the Cardinals are there twice because they do have the Texans pick.
Yeah. But really the only bright spot on this defense is Max Crosby. And I guess Raiders fans can look forward to Tyree Wilson, but
Because Chandler Jones,
what
I don't
will
know.
he be? Yeah.
Chandler Jones, that was disappointing for the Raiders because he had such a good season with the Cardinals in 2021, and then he came over to the Raiders and kind of robbed them a little bit. So, Tyree Wilson's that replacement. Hopefully he can show some flashes because Chandler Jones, he's almost done. And Max Crosby is going to be double-teamed every single play. Go ahead.
Probably.
All right, so my number 3, I have the Broncos. I originally had them higher than what I have them now, but I do have them at 7-10. Just because I think their offense took a lot of hits. Losing Tim Patrick, and then they're missing Judy during the start of the year for 5 or 6 weeks, I think it is. I just think it'll be a slow start for them, and they play a lot of teams around their same level, near the start or above them. So I just think they're going to get off to a slower start. I like their defense still. I still think their defense is probably second in the division behind maybe the Chargers. No, you don't think so?
It's better.
Number 1?
Oh, yeah.
It's close. It's up there. But I don't know. I think their interior line, they lost both their guys, right?
The interior line is not that good.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens there, but their defense is always going to be good. It's just the question of the offense, and I think I had them around 10-7, and then I heard Tim Patrick's out, now Judy's out. And I really don't see how this offense is going to operate for the first few weeks. And, I think it'll be a slow start.
Good question for you. Broncos offense or Raiders offense?
I would probably, if the Broncos offense was fully healthy, I would take the Broncos.
No Tim Patrick, but healthy Judy.
Oh, then I'd probably lean Raiders slightly. I don't know. It's hard to say because we haven't seen Jimmy G play with them yet. And if
really
Josh
haven't seen
Jacobs
Russ
plays
either.
Yeah. But if Josh Jacobs is fully healthy, I'm probably taking the Raiders.
I would too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Josh Jacobs is there, but I don't think he'll be. Actually, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Coming in at number 3 for me is the Denver Broncos. I have them at 8-9, 3-3 in the division. This team I think is gonna obviously have a better season with Sean Payton. Russell Wilson will be a little bit better, but the one thing that scares me for this team is that they can't get to the quarterback. I think that's very concerning. They can't get to the quarterback especially like I said with the Raiders in an AFC where the Raiders could rush some guys, but their guys can't hold up a man. The Broncos players can hold up a man, but not for 5 seconds every play. It's going to be tough because who's going to be their leading sack leader on this team, Browning or
They don't need
Gregory?
one.
Why don't they need one?
They'll all get 6 sacks.
Okay, anyways,
Just a smorgasbord.
It's not like we
Just,
have
spread
TJ
out.
Watt just run.
no, but it doesn't have a Pro Bowl talent. I think the majority of the teams have a Pro Bowl talent at edge
D-line?
rusher. Yeah, I think so.
Gregory could be that if he's healthy. He's good enough to do that, but. Do you want me to go on to mine?
No. I have a couple more things to say. I think Wilson will be. I'm not going to sit up here and grill the Broncos because they're going to be a 500 team. They're going to be around average, but they're not going to be enough to make the playoffs because Russell Wilson, he has shown flashes of being really bad, but I think he'll show flashes of being like the old Russ, but not to the Not a consistent basis. He'll have some plays because of Sean Payton. He'll make him look better than he really is. Tim Patrick's out. Judy's going to be out for a little bit. That didn't really change my record prediction because I think that if they can get the run game going, I think Sutton can step up for a couple games. Marvin Mims Jr., just drafted him last night. I think he could be an over-the-top threat for this team. And, yeah, Broncos 8 and 9 for me, third in the division. Not too much to get excited about.
All right, go ahead, Chuck.
All right, third place for me, Denver Broncos.
What?
9 and 8.
Okay.
I think it's a fair record. Sean Payton, I think, will make this team a 500 team. If we already didn't catch the injury bug, I would have this team at 10-7, to be completely honest with you. Because I think Sean Payton gets the advantage of knowing that Russ isn't actually what he is, and he knows what he can do now.
Yep.
With Nathaniel Hackney designed an offense for what he thought Russ would be like in Seattle. So I think Russ, he won't obviously return to top 10 form, but he'll be
Competent.
13 in that range. But the run game, I think, will be solid. O-line's a lot better. The receiving core does scare me with Judy getting hurt. Now Sutton, we really can only rely on him getting back to 2019 form, then Marvin Mims becoming like JSN or something. But
one thing about the Broncos, I think that one thing that could save them early in the season while Judy's hurt is if Javonte Williams can be 80% or 85% of what he was before, and Samaje Perine's an excellent backup. I think that you could kind of balance the workload with those two just based off of Javonte Williams coming back from that injury, and Perine can run that rock as we saw when Joe Mixon was hurt for a couple games. Perine looked nice,
He's better than Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's a scrub.
I think Javonte, they won't rush him back early.
No.
But week
He'll ease
5,
him.
week 6.
Big workload.
Yeah,
Broncos
he'll be
season-
back.
Broncos season starts after the bye. Yeah.
Let's see.
We'll go through it.
Okay.
Go ahead, number 2.
Number 2, I have the Chargers at 12 and 5. I don't think there's much to say. There hasn't really been much changes on this roster. It's just a matter of everyone getting healthy now. I don't know. I like their defense. Derwin James is still there. Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack. Obviously, they're slowing down a little bit. And then their secondary is pretty good too. Asante Samuel Jr. is pretty good. And then their offense is always going to be electric. And I think adding Kellen Moore will just take it to the next level. I think Herbert will be in contention for MVP this year just based off of how pass-heavy I think this offense will be and how good I think this offense will be. I just think this is a solid all-around team, and I think the only thing that's holding them back from my mind and getting them over the hump is the coaching. So we'll see what happens with that. We already talked about that earlier. But
Brandon Staley calls defensive plays for the Chargers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, I have the Chargers coming in at 12 and 5, 4 and 2 in the division. I like this team. I like everything about it. Kellen Moore is my favorite hire of the offseason. You guys know how much I like him.
Yeah.
I think he's big time for the Chargers. He's going to elevate Herbert to a level that Joe Lombardi can't. Like you said, he will be in the MVP contention. And, yeah, for me, I think the Chargers are going to be another excellent regular season team. And, yeah, 4 and 2 in the division. They ain't number 1, though. Go ahead, Joey.
Number 2, I have the Chargers at 10-7. I think 12 and 5 is a little high, just
Why?
considering I don't think the defense is really that good.
Team can get in shootouts, though.
They can, and they also have one of the hardest schedules in the league.
We'll go through it.
But we'll see. The offense is good with Herbert. I think he's in line for a massive, massive year. The receiving core is good. Eckler's still there. And the O-line, they get Rashawn Slater back, which their team was banged up last year, and they still got 10 wins, which I see why you have them at 12 wins.
Yeah. If Keenan Allen, Mike Williams stay healthy, and you get Quentin Johnson in the mix too, even if one of those guys go down, Quentin Johnson's better than a Josh Palmer or a Jalen Guyton, right? So Herbert just needs guys to pass to, and that's what people have been begging on his whole career. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, number 1, I have the Chiefs. I have them also at 12 and 5. I would have them higher, but the only thing that I'm worried about for them is just Chris Jones holding out, because he's been saying he's going to hold out until the bye.
Does worry me.
And yeah, without him on the defense, that defense won't be very good. I just think they have no one else to really get to the quarterback. You have, I think they drafted
Karlaftis.
Karlaftis is all right, but he's not going to be like.
Who'd they take
that.
where you got happy about at the end of the first
yeah.
round? Felix.
Oh, that's the Chiefs. Yeah.
He's a good like speed
You don't like him,
rusher,
right?
but
No, he's not good.
I don't see him doing anything. He's not good.
No.
He's a bust already. Yeah, I don't see him doing anything really.
What do you have their division record, Chiefs?
I have it 4-2. I have them
Chargers 3-3,
4-2. Broncos and Raiders 2-4.
and then you have the Chiefs tiebreaker because they have a better conference record.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
and then I just have
Yeah.
better conference record.
The tiebreaker for me, I do have the Chiefs coming in at number 1. I do have the Kansas City Chiefs at 12-5, 5-1 in the division, where the Chargers I had them at 4-2.
Okay.
You can't put the Chargers over the Chiefs in this division. Maybe playoffs. The Chargers could beat them in a one game matchup or whatever. But this team, there's not much to say about them. They're the reigning champs. They're the best team in the NFL right now, and there's Mahomes, Kelsey. We know what it is. Andy Reid, the combination. It's the best in the NFL, and I have the Chiefs coming in at number 1. 5-1 in the division, 12-5 record.
Number 1, I got the Chiefs at 13-4.
Hmm.
I think they're way too high for where I put them if Chris Jones is out.
Yeah.
And I think the Chargers could realistically win this division now that I think about it. Just sitting here because this offense, it doesn't excite me just looking at the depth chart, but like we all know it's going to be good.
All you need is 2 players on that offense, really.
All right, so we'll go through the Chargers and Broncos schedule, but I have 2 questions for the Chiefs.
Okay.
Who is more important to the Kansas City Chiefs, Tyreek Hill or Chris Jones? Go ahead.
Mahomes, you mean?
Tyreek Hill or Chris Jones?
To their team?
Yeah, to that team.
The respective team? I would probably say that's tough. I'd probably say Chris Jones though.
Yeah. Chris Jones.
He's probably the best defensive interior in the league right now. I'd put him over Donald just because he's getting older and I don't think he has much to play for anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But that's so hard to say because Hill made that Dolphins team so good. Like that offense clicked so well when he went over, and Tua played so much better.
What do you got, Joey? Jones?
Chris Jones, just because the defense is nothing without him.
Yeah.
Dog water.
I think it's Tyreek Hill is just this generational type of talent. He could be the greatest wide receiver talent ever, just based off of that electric speed and what he does when he gets the ball in his hands, right? But I'd slightly say Chris Jones is more important over Tyreek Hill. So, do you think that the Chiefs would have won the Super Bowl last year if they had Tyreek Hill and lost Chris Jones?
No. Because they would have lost to the Bengals. The Bengals would have scored 30 points on them in that conference championship game, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, probably.
And Eli Apple would have strapped up Hill.
I don't think, with Mahomes on offense, I don't think they really need Hill as much as they need Chris Jones. Because when you have Mahomes at quarterback, it's a whole different
He can elevate
story.
anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Which leads me to my next question. Who will lead the Kansas City Chiefs in receiving yards this year besides Travis Kelce?
4 receivers?
4 receivers?
Shit.
Justin Ross, Darius Toney, Sky Moore, Valdez Scantling.
This is roll the dice.
Rasheed Rice.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Toney will be playing.
Read me out the depth chart. You got it in front of you?
Tony's number 1, then Scantling, and then Sky Moore.
Then?
I think Rasheed Rice and then Richie James.
Where's Justin Ross? 6?
7th.
Who's 6?
Justin Watson. That speedy guy.
I would almost pick Jerick McKinnon to lead the team in receiving yards. I don't even know.
I think it'll be Scantling.
Yeah, probably.
I would say Scantling. If Toney was if we're talking no injuries, Toney, but he's gonna get hurt. Yeah, sadly, it's inevitable. But Sky Moore, he showed some flashes last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Sky Moore is gonna be that dude for the Chiefs. Not 1,000-yard receiver, but lead the team. If I were to pick someone, it's tough, man.
They're all just wide receiver 3s.
Yeah.
So it's so hard to pick.
I'd go MVS as well. I would. I think he's the best he's not the best talent in that room. I think he's just
bring anybody in free agency.
Deep threat or just anything.
I don't even think they care to bring anyone in free agency.
No, because they have Travis Kelce.
Yeah, because they know they're just gonna be good anyways.
But yeah, who would you pick?
I think I'd pick MVS as well.
Yeah.
I think that Justin Watson guy could win it too. He was good last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I honestly, I'll just say I don't think Tony will play more than like 5 games this year. That guy is
Pull up
literally
the schedule, Joe.
he's
for
a little
the Broncos.
pencil. That guy got snapped.
For the
like,
Broncos.
5 games is crazy though.
Is he
5?
not hurt already? He's already hurt.
Probably is. But
Yeah.
shit. 5?
Shins
He is
Wentz
hurt,
week one.
right? He's hurt.
I'm
right
just gonna
now.
wait. See, the problem is I'm gonna be watching the Lions game on my couch, and I'm gonna turn around, and this guy's gonna be getting carted off probably, like because his shin's hurt or some shit. He gets hurt all the time.
We'll do the Broncos schedule prediction first. Then I want you to pull up your Chargers one.
Okay.
Because he's got them at 10-7, and you've got them at a higher record. So
Yeah.
your Broncos, you have them at 9-8. Do we both have them at 8, 9, 7,
I
and
had
10?
them at 7 and 10.
Okay.
A bit lower.
So, Joey, we can go through here one by one. I gotta pull up this tally sheet here. Let's see what we got, Joe.
Damn, it's loading.
For you.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, you got it.
Broncos?
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, week 1 against the Raiders. They
You have a
won
win.
that.
It's fair.
And then at home against the Commanders. I think the Commanders will give them a run, but I think the Broncos will win that one.
They're in Broncos country, right?
Yeah.
That's true. Shit. That mile high air. might
The
get
D,
them.
that's an under game right there for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a 10-9 game. Is it prime time?
No, never.
Thank God.
And then
Read me out the primetime games, too, because this does matter for that team.
Does it show you? I'll search it up.
no, I know what they are.
Holy
And
shit.
then
It's respect.
on the road to Miami, that's a
hard.
loss.
Thank you. That's week 3.
I
Yeah.
have them losing.
Going on
And
that
then on the road to the Bears, I think we win that
game.
one.
I think that's a loss, but yeah, sure.
Go Broncos.
At home against the Jets, we win that. Yeah.
No.
What?
Why?
Oh, because this Hackett
beef, 'cause the
revenge,
Hackett
Sean
revenge.
Payton. You think that,
No,
like, honestly,
I think we have more likely chance of winning that game than the Bears game.
Why?
I think the Bears is a sleeper game, so make
which,
that like
which week is this?
5 against the Jets.
Judy's like fringe return.
Just
He'll
put
be-
1-1 there against the Bears and the Jets.
Okay,
So what? 3-2 right now.
3-2. Will Judy go on IR?
Well,
No,
No.
he's not even hurt. He like posted a
I saw
laughing emoji
on his
there.
Twitter. That's
Like
what I was
he's
gonna
fine.
mention. Yeah. Okay.
wow, this guy's building system.
Thursday night in Kansas City, they
Lost.
lose that.
It's a close game.
By 50.
That'll be close.
At home against Green Bay, I think
That's
Green
good.
Bay beats them.
That's fair. That's very
I
fair.
have them winning, but
And then at home against the Chiefs, we win one of those. We beat the Chiefs this year.
holy
For
hopes are
sure.
high, I love it.
Then we have a bye week, and then after the bye,
Sorry.
Okay.
Do you have the Chiefs sweeping the Broncos?
Probably.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think
Go
so.
ahead. This is your bye. Which week?
Oh no, I don't.
Eight-
Never
week
mind.
nine.
Week 9
I
bye.
lied.
You have them splitting.
I have Chargers sweeping the Broncos. But
You don't
not
have
the-
you
but
have
not
the Chiefs splitting.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
And then on the road to Buffalo,
Week 10
we're gonna lose that one.
coming off
Yeah.
the bye. You're going to that game.
Yeah.
That's just a Donnybrook, I think. That one.
At home against the Vikings, I have a win there.
I do too.
That's gonna be fun. Sertain versus.
That's
Jefferson.
actually a primetime Sunday night game.
It's a good game. You have that as
And
a
the
win.
Bills game's a Monday night.
You have that as a win.
Yeah.
2 prime times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna hurt that.
Dude, how does this team?
If they get
keep
pumped
getting
by Buffalo, they're like, oh, we can't go into primetime again.
and then they just get Donnied again.
Who
Yeah.
knows?
Wait, they play Monday and then the next Thursday?
Sunday. You
Oh,
do
Sunday
Monday
night. I was gonna say I didn't think
Yeah.
you could do that.
And then week 12 at home against the Browns, I have a win.
I had them beating the Browns actually.
5 and 6,
At the Texans, we win that one.
6 and 6.
And then going to the Chargers, we lose that. Going to the Lions, we lose that.
7 and
Good
7.
choice.
No.
I just had 2 losses there.
6 and 8.
Broncos.
6 and 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
6 and 8. Like, cause I gave you some losses that week. Cause you said win versus the Chiefs, and I put it down as a loss.
And then at home against the Patriots, I have a loss there.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
me too. I had them lose the
Um,
last 3.
At home
Or
against the
5.
Chargers, we split that series.
Love
and
the
then-
confidence.
At the Raiders,
Win.
I think.
I have them
we win
sweeping
that.
the Raiders.
Yeah.
Love
8
the
and 9.
confidence. 8 and 9.
It's just that it's different, right? Because he's got
Good.
Sorry, who'd you have? Bears, Jets. So he had a win
Yeah.
against the Bears, Jets, and Chiefs. That's what bothers me, right? Because one of those are losses for sure. But then you also go to the games that you think that you lose, like the Patriots,
They could
The
beat
Packers.
And they could beat the Packers.
the Packers,
The Lions.
and you also have them beating the Vikings, which is another toss-up.
Lions will be an embarrassment.
Broncos,
Like
Lions, would you have
country.
loss?
Yeah.
You have them losing to
That's
the
a
Lions?
quite easy loss, to be honest. Broncos country.
So, yeah.
They're gonna get their
Broncos
balls
9-8
chopped
for you.
Mm-hmm.
You think it could change to 10-7 though?
No, I said that in like July, but we already are hit by injuries,
The injuries are
in
getting-
August.
Who? Tim
Broncos.
Patrick.
Judy Hamler.
Is Hamler out for the year?
He's.
off. Probably.
I don't know what his timeline is, but
Because he's like health
He's just
condition, right?
milking.
Mhm.
He's just milking John Elway, the front. He's just milking all the money. We'll pause actually, but he's just eating up that contract money and not playing.
He's on a rookie deal, isn't he?
who?
Hamler?
Hamler?
No, he's got to be
Yeah.
old. Is he still in the rookie
He was
deal?
drafted second round in the Judy draft, 2020.
I
They
thought he
went
was way older
receiver
than
in that draft.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, there's the Broncos record prediction: 9-8.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I got them at 8-9, 7-10. Consensus has us meeting in the middle at 8-9.
High hopes.
We'll go here.
love
We'll
it.
go to the Chargers record prediction and we'll send it off. Go ahead, Jay.
All right.
You call out what you have. What's different, okay?
Okay.
Joey?
Okay.
So you
Go
want
ahead.
me to just? I'll just go
This
through
is
what
just-
I have.
Yeah.
So I actually have them. I have them winning 5 in a row to start the year.
Who is
Versus
that?
actually hard
Who's
teams
that?
too. Miami,
Okay.
Tennessee, Minnesota, and then the Raiders,
Yep.
and then they have a bye week, and then they play the Cowboys.
They got to lose one of those
But
games, right?
I think they probably will, but
Against
I don't know.
who?
I see them.
Cowboys, Vikings, Dolphins,
I just, like, I don't know.
Titans.
They lose one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
okay,
could.
it's fine. Go on.
Maybe, but I have them losing to the
Chromebook's
Chiefs.
frozen.
I have them losing to the Chiefs, and then I have them beating the Bears.
Yep.
So I have them starting 6-1.
6-1,
And then I have them losing to the Jets.
6-2.
And then I have them beating the Lions. Losing to Green Bay,
7-2.
actually.
Okay.
Beating the Ravens. Losing to the Patriots.
Yep.
Beating the Broncos.
What do you have?
You have them
What?
splitting
Like,
with
do you
the
know off the top of
Broncos.
your
I
head?
actually have the Chargers sweeping
Against
the
the
Broncos.
Broncos.
Splitting Chargers and
I had
Broncos.
the Chargers winning the one at home,
Yeah, me too.
which is
Well, no, actually, I had the Chargers winning both.
Go ahead.
But then I have, after the Broncos game, I have them losing to the Raiders on
Yep.
Thursday night.
really?
Beating the Bills. I actually had them lose to a lot of bad teams.
What's their
and-
division record for you?
Or
4-2?
4-2, yeah. Beating the Bills, beating the Broncos, and then beating the Chiefs, splitting with the Chiefs. So, 12-5 total. Losses to the Jets, Chiefs, Packers, Raiders, and Patriots. I think they'll probably lose one more now that I look at it.
oh, here we go. I have it pulled up.
Yeah. I think I don't want to say it's similar because obviously I had a crazy record for the Ravens, but I had them at 13-4, so it's kind of around the same boat, right?
You have the Chargers
But-
at 13-4, or the Ravens?
No. I have the Ravens at 13-4, but you have the
Yeah.
Chargers at 12-5. So do I. I have them winning a
Right.
lot of tough games,
Yeah.
which I think they're capable of. It's just one of those schedules where it's so hard, but there's always a team every year where they just win a ton of regular season
Mhm.
games that people don't expect to win week in and week out.
Wait,
Yeah.
how do you? I have them losing to the Vikings, Chiefs, Jets, Lions, Patriots, Bills, and Broncos. Those are all fair losses.
I have them losing to the
Yeah, I had them losers to Packers, Patriots, Raiders, and then
Let me pull it up.
Chiefs and Jets.
I have them.
Because-
I have them losing. I have right here on my paper. I have them losing to the Broncos and Chiefs. They split both of those.
And then sweep
Yeah.
Raiders.
Is
yeah,
what I
I
have.
guess I could have that.
So I
too,
have
but-
them. I have them losses to Broncos, Chiefs. Broncos, Chiefs, Vikings, Cowboys. Where is it? Ravens. I think they beat the Bills. Because it's in LA. I think they beat the Lions. I think they beat the Jets. So, yeah, I think it's just one of those where it's their 50-50 games. And the Chargers have hung with the Chiefs every time they've played them. They haven't beat them.
They'll win one this year.
I think, I have them getting one here. You have them?
Yeah.
What do you have them in the division, the Chargers?
4-2.
What do you have the Broncos in the division? 3-3?
3-3.
Sweep the Raiders.
No, I had them
Splitting with everyone.
Raiders, yeah. We'll just lose one of those.
You think so? What weeks you play? 1 and what?
1-18.
Oh, shoot. So, yeah. Maybe it's like...
We'll probably lose week 18.
Maybe you're like clinched the 1 seed and like...
maybe.
Resting.
It's a scenario.
But yeah, we can pull up here our conference seedings here. So, last division to do is AFC East Sunday. So, for me to recap my AFC here, I got the I have the Chargers at 6. Chargers 6, Bengals 5, Jaguars 4, Chiefs 3, Ravens 2. So 1 and the 7 for AFC East.
That's the same as me. 1-7. But I have Chargers 6, Browns 5, Jaguars 4, Bengals 3, Chiefs 2.
Bengals 3, Chiefs 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, we basically have the
just
same.
1 and 7 I have for the AFC East.
Yeah. So I've got the playoff matchups. I have Ravens versus the number 7 seed, Chiefs, Chargers, Jaguars, Bengals. So it'll be a good one. Go ahead, Jay.
I have Bengals at the 1 seed.
Yep.
And then I have Chiefs at the 2.
Yep.
And then 3 and 7 are both AFC East teams.
Okay.
4
5
I have Jacksonville.
Spurs.
5 I have the Chargers. And then 6
Browns?
I have the Browns. Yeah, Browns.
Chargers versus Jags again.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hopefully they can beat them.
Spicy.
Both those teams, I don't even know. That'll be a good ass game though.
All
If
right.
that happens again.
We'll see you guys Sunday for the last division prediction, and then it's MVP and more predictions to come. Super Bowl predictions too. So, no, not the Sunday, but the one after. Yeah. So that's gonna do it for episode 20 of the Alec Frengos Show. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.